Good evening. Welcome to the June 12th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. Can we have confirmation of posting and roll call, please?
Thank you. This meeting has been posted in accordance to Nevada Open Meeting Law. All members are present with the exception of Member Biaggi, who's participating via teleconference, and Chairman McDonald and Member Rudd are absent.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
Our first item is public comment. Please keep in mind the first public comment is for matters that are on the agenda. The final public comment, you can discuss any matter. I'll open it up for public comment. If anybody that is listening at home wants to call in, the number is 702-589-9629. Hearing none, I'll close public comment. Item number 1 is approval of the minutes of the April 17th, 2024 regular meeting. I'd like to note there was a minor correction that's on the dais. And I will take a motion.
I'll move to accept the minutes.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 2 for possible action, matters pertaining to proposed master plan amendment and zoning map amendment, 4.65 acres located west of Buchanan Boulevard, south of El Camino Circle, east of Bristlecone Drive, and north of Sunrise Circle. Staff?
Good evening, Commission. Nikisha Lyon, City Planner with the Community Development Department. Before you tonight is agenda item number 2, which is a request for a master plan amendment and a zoning map amendment for approximately 0.65 acres of vacant land that is located west of Buchanan Boulevard, south of El Camino Circle, east of Bristlecone Drive, and north of Sunrise Circle, as shown on the map on the screen. The subject property is owned by the city, and we are seeking to change the master plan and the zoning designations in order to allow for the expansion of the Desert Research Institute for continued research purposes. Their property is located directly to the east of this property. Recently, the Desert Research Institute requested that the city transfer this parcel to them for additional land to continue their underground research. As both the current master plan and the zoning map designations are for low-density residential or single-family residential uses, respectively, the uses of government or educational facilities are not permitted nor supported by these designations. Therefore, we must amend these designations accordingly. Additionally, the Desert Research Institute has submitted for a master plan and zoning map amendment for the existing parcel that they own that's to the east of this at 1500 Buchanan Boulevard, and that is agenda item number 3 tonight. Further details on the matters for consideration before you tonight for these amendments are denoted on pages 15 and 17 of the agenda packet. Per state law, a neighborhood meeting is required prior to the consideration of the master plan amendment, and with the city as the applicant, staff's summary of this request would satisfy that requirement. So therefore, the request before the commission tonight is to conduct the public hearing for the master plan amendment and the zoning map amendment, and to consider resolution 1255 for adoption, and a recommendation to the City Council on the proposed amendment for the master plan future land use map to change that designation from low-density residential to public/quasi-public, and then to consider resolution 1256 for the recommendation to the City Council on a proposed amendment to the zoning map, and this is to change the zoning district from R110 single-family residential to government municipal. This item has been noticed in conformance with state law Page 18 of the agenda packet has the requested actions as well as the motion language for your consideration tonight. And pages 20 to 26, these contain the resolutions, the drainage report, as well as one submitted public comment. Staff is available for any questions that the commission may have, as well as Brock Armentrout, the city's revenue contracts and real estate manager, is serving as the applicant for these amendments, and he is available for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do members of the Planning Commission have any questions?
I have a question. Does the Desert Institute do any actual underground testing on that site? Or do they do it other places and bring their results and their testing there?
Peter Ross is representing the Desert Research Institute, so he'll be able to answer that question for you.
Good evening. Peter Ross from the Desert Research Institute. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Campus Planning and Physical Plant. And thank you for the question. Thank you for the opportunity to answer tonight. The city's parcel adjoining DRI's land has not been used for any underground testing. Years ago, there was a solar thermal storage pond on that site, and that was closed at the city's request when we were no longer using it. And since that time, the surface area has been used for holding plant pots and those sorts of things, but there is no underground activity there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? This is a public hearing. I will now open the public hearing on the proposed master plan amendment and zoning map amendment. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Pereira. I'm an associate research scientist at the Desert Research Institute and a Boulder City resident within the impacted area for this particular rezoning amendment. And I would just like to state again that I am in support of this and the research that we do out there. And I know a lot of members of the community are interested in what we do. We had an open house a couple years ago. We intend to do that again. And we hope that the research that we do will be valuable to not only the state, the country, but also to members here that we can share and have volunteers.
Thank you. Anybody watching from home can call in. This is a public hearing. The phone number is 702-589-9629. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and take a motion. I'll make a motion. I move to approve Resolution 1255 based on the findings that the amendment to the master plan conserves and promotes public health, safety, and general welfare. We'll take them separately. We'll do them one at a time.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Anybody want to make a motion for Resolution 1256?
I'll make a motion. I move to approve Resolution 1256, which is in conformance with the findings as denoted in 1133-9 of the Boulder City zoning ordinance.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 3, matters pertaining to a proposed master plan amendment and zoning map amendment for approximately 3 acres located at 1500 Buchanan Boulevard. Staff?
Good evening again. So this is agenda item number 3, which is a request for a master plan amendment, zoning map amendment for approximately 3 acres of land that is located at 1500 Buchanan Boulevard. This is adjacent to the subject property under consideration for similar amendments, which was our last agenda item before you tonight. The Desert Research Institute has submitted these amendments for consideration by the city. This is in order to correct the non-conforming designations on the land currently with the existing use of the property as a government-ran education and research facility that has operated on this particular piece of property since the 1970s. The current master plan designation is for low-density residential, and the zoning map designation is for R3 multiple family residential, as you can see on the map on the screen. These designations do not permit or support the existing use of the land. As noted in the last agenda item, the Desert Research Institute is working with the city to process a land ownership transfer for the 0.65 acre parcel that's to the west of this site for additional land for them to utilize for their underground research purposes. With the processing of this transfer, the applicant as well as the staff found that it would be appropriate to move forward with changing the master plan and the zoning designations to ensure conformance with the goals and objectives of the city's master plan as well as our zoning ordinance. Changing the master plan, future land use designation would be to public/quasi-public, and the zoning map designation would be to government municipal, which would create conformity with the existing use of the land, as well as would be congruent with the amendments from the last agenda item. Per state law, a neighborhood meeting is required, and this is required to occur prior to the consideration of the master plan amendment. Due to the concurrency with the last agenda item that was submitted by the city, staff did find that it would be appropriate for us to conduct the neighborhood meeting on behalf of the applicant. So therefore, staff's summary of this request tonight would satisfy that requirement. So the request before the commission tonight is to conduct the public hearing for the master plan amendment and the zoning map amendment, and to consider resolution 1257 for adoption and a recommendation to the city council on a proposed amendment to the master plan future land use map, which is to change the land use designation from low-density residential to public/quasi-public. And then to consider resolution 1258 for a recommendation to the city council on a proposed amendment to the zoning map to change the zoning district from R3 multiple family residential to GM, which is government municipal. This item has been noticed in conformance with state law. As the zoning change is a reduction in density or intensity on the subject property, state law does require that those residents that are within the 750-foot mailing radius to give them the opportunity to vote in favor or not in favor of this change. Out of the 173 mailers or properties that we did send out, staff has received 1 in favor vote and 1 not in favor vote for the zoning map amendment in front of you tonight. And both of those items were provided to you all at the dais. So page 31 of the agenda packet has the requested actions as well as the motion language for your consideration. Pages 33 to 37 contains the resolutions as well as the drainage report. Staff is available for any questions that the commission may have, as well as Peter Ross, who is the applicant representing the Desert Research Institute, is also available for questions that you may have on these amendments. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any members of the Planning Commission have any questions? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing on a proposed master plan amendment and zoning map amendment. Come on up.
My name is Denise Good, and I'm not sure I understand what we're talking about here, but is this in regards to 1400 Utah Street?
No, it is not.
Are we meeting on that tonight?
No, we are not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. To call in to make any comments during this public hearing, the number is 702-589-9629. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing, and I'm ready for a motion. Let's take them separately, please.
I'll make a motion. I move to approve resolution number 1257, based on the findings and amendment to the master plan, conserves and promotes the health and public safety and general welfare.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. And any motion for resolution 1258?
I move to approve resolution number 1258, which is in conformance with the findings as described, as denoted in 11-33-9 of the Boulder City zoning ordinance.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. And item number 4 is monthly progress report on development allotments.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Good evening, Commission. So agenda item number 4 before you tonight, again, is a monthly progress report on development allotments, which is required to be presented to the Planning Commission, and this is in conformance with our growth controlled ordinance. There are no developer nor new owner-builder allotments that were issued for the month of April and for May of this year. If you need any more information, that can be found in the staff report, starting on page 38 of the agenda packet, and staff is available for any questions that you may have.
Thank you. And the last item is public comment. This public comment can be on any matters, and you have 5 minutes to speak. I'll open public comment. For those not in attendance, you can call in 702-589-9629. This is our final public comment period, which can be on any matter. Seeing none, meeting adjourned. I should say hearing none instead of seeing none.